Going on, Legion, as you'll get like always, and yeah, we're back with more 21 Pilots. It's kind of crazy that I'm getting in this huge, like, I don't know what to call it. It's just something, I almost said rut for some reason, but like, we're like in this 21 Pilot zone. I haven't done a lot of fourth or any Filipino stuff in like 2 months now. Kind of feel bad about shunning that community because the two communities on this channel are the 21 Pilot fans and the Filipino community in general. It's kind of crazy that the two biggest groups of people on the channel, one of them's a fan base of a band, and the other one's a ton of people from a country. So it's just kind of crazy to think about that kind of stuff when you try to like balance the scales of what I'm going to be reacting to next and all that stuff. But there's just been a whole lot of interesting stuff for 21 Pilots that I've really just wanted to kind of watch and get into and stuff. They were on the Grammys or whatever, and they did the pants thing, and I kind of wanted to react to that, but I kind of watched it live. So, like, you know, to go revisit that would be a thing totally if people want that. I will never know because I'm horrible at reading comments, and I probably won't see these comments for like a week because, you know, I'm just the worst YouTuber ever. But I asked for some stuff involving Josh and just maybe his drum stuff, and this is kind of like an interview, I believe, with some of him playing. Tweeted to me by Abby, which has been a viewer for a while now, and a very I don't want to say vocal, but heavy in the comments and stuff like that. And I believe Ashley is how you spell it or pronounce it. So they tweeted this to me, and I was like, great, cool. They got it to me right away, like the day after the day of the video came out. For me asking for this stuff, they tweeted it, and honestly, I really wanted to watch some of his stuff. And what's really awesome is that this video is only 4 minutes, so we don't have to go, and it's just him. We don't have to go into a 20-minute long video, you know, talking about lyrics. So with that being said, let's get into it, check it out, see what it's all about. Let's hope it's good. Volume loud, please stop it. Josh Dunn. 21 Pilots. All right. Maybe less of an interview? Maybe. Dude, he just gets so into it. I don't know why, you just feel the energy.
When I got into playing music, I think it was at a time in my life where I was feeling
he speaks.
A little bit internally aggressive, I think.
I think it's just the energy, man. It just brings you right into it.
When I would go and play the drums and learn how to play drums, it was kind of I guess a way of me expressing myself, even if that was at the time just to myself.
It's really cool. Oh, okay. It's really cool just seeing him play. It really is. The energy.
And I think the same thing can be said about music. And I think creating music is such an extension of yourself and your personality. And then even deeper with that, I think the gear that you play. I've always been really into gear and instruments, and I think that the gear that you play can express your
I've always been
well.
into gear. Richard Gere? I mean, Snake Plissken's a sexy man, but come on. Yeah, he definitely brings a 100% every time he plays, which is really nice. And it's like, it doesn't seem like it's forced, because if it was forced, he probably wouldn't still be doing it. This is like just who he is, and this energy comes out when he plays, which is always really fun.
I've always been really drawn to the A Custom series cymbals. I think just because of the look and also the sound, I always really enjoy kind of a warm and bright sound. After playing the S series, I feel like there's a little more body to the cymbal, which there's been times that I'll be in venues and a sound guy or even Tyler in my band who's on stage with me is just like, these are piercing my ears and it's too loud or too bright and too high end. And then there's, times where, it should be the opposite, or whatever. And so
they play some dark music
after playing these,
sometimes.
I feel like it's a good balance between a dark cymbal and a really light cymbal.
All right. Yeah, he's talking about brightness. It's like not all of his music's bright. All right. Dude, he's just hauling ass, man. Let's go a million miles an hour. Dude, it's just so fun to watch him play, no joke. I thought, you thought he was gonna hit it, but he's like, no, let's slow it back down. Let's get some of them bright cymbals up. Got a little sweat going on, man. He's really putting it in there. So it'll work. All right, man. That was actually really fun. This is the first time I've ever found a drummer that's like interesting to watch. I don't usually am like, yeah, the drummer, my favorite part of the band. It's never really been my thought. I've always liked, strings of some instrument or some kind of horn, saxophone, harmonica even. Some of my favorite stuff, like that. And drums are definitely an essential part of any band. That kind of I don't know, that tone, the deepness that a drum can bring. Sometimes an orchestra may kind of switch some of that stuff out for like a different kind of harps and other things to kind of make it that classical sound. And but a band, I think and I guess maybe it's just because it's just two of them. And I think the focus just really goes to two of them. Usually when you got a 4-person band, 5-person band, the focus is either the lead singer or the attractive or the badass guitarist. Ozzy Osbourne, has one of the most downloaded songs, I think, in all history, or one of the most listened to songs or whatever, which is Paranoid. Really good song, one of my favorite songs. It's in my top 25 of all-time greatest music, along with some stuff from AC/DC. But when you have Ozzy, he has such a unique voice that people really not just focus on him, but they focused on not once but twice his guitarist. He had Randy Rhoads, which is considered to be one of the greatest guitarists as well, with along with Hendrix and everybody else. He was one of the maybe not the greatest guitarist. He was definitely up there in like the top guitarists, but he was definitely one of he and Ozzy were the best duos, singer, lead guitarist of all time. And then Zakk Wylde, which is considered to be one of the greatest guitarists, I think, he's in the top as well. And I wonder if, like, when I'm older, if we're going to see 21 Pilots up there. There was like a band called Chevelle. Does anybody remember Chevelle? Hands. That band was in the early 2000s, and they had some music that's real catchy, stuff that I still have on my computer right now. And whenever I wanted something a little different, they're in my mix. Whenever I'm streaming, playing games, sometimes they pop on, and it's just a really fast song. But they disbanded. They're gone. And unlike AC/DC, which has the insanely, crazy showman of Angus Young, but the unique vocals of the lead singer, I forgot his name. So I'm wondering with these huge, Ozzy, AC/DC, and these other big bands that are just gigantic and that have been around from the test of time, I'm wondering if 21 Pilots is going to be there. Now, don't let your fandom, of course they're going to be there. They're great. They are a 2-person band. Try looking at it objectively. Will they do it? Will they have the desire to do it? Will they want to do it? Will they just say, I've got my message out? A lot of times when somebody has a message to say and they've kind of said it, then they don't have anything else to follow up with. Look at Eminem, the rapper, Marshall Mathers. He, and a lot of his original early music was all about his horrible childhood with his horrible mother. and how crappy his life was and how hard it was to just kind of keep going. That's what it was all about. It was just to keep going. He had a dream. Didn't matter if he was like, if it was depressing. He didn't let. And I guess this is why I kind of understand that side of, why I've always was a fan of him growing up, is because I never let anything that was supposed to be depressing in my life, something that would get a lot of people down. I just had a desire that I wanted to do this in my life and get through it. And I'm sure he wanted to be a rapper, and he's like, I don't care if depression comes into it. I don't got the time to be depressed. I want to be this huge rapper. And he did it. And then he got to, then his music in the later 2000s, 2010, 2013, he put some music out that didn't have a whole lot to do with the inner pain. And some of it was good and some of it wasn't so good. Now he's not one of the biggest underground rappers or main rapper. He was so underground that he was, above ground. It was crazy. He said all this horrible crap, slurs to gay people and stuff like that, which is common in rap. And he said all that stuff and still got put on the radio, which was incredible. He was so popular. And I'm just wondering if that's what's going to happen to 21. Are they... Yes, I said 21. Are they going to just run out of things to say, or are they going to move into the world? It's not just about depression anymore. They're going to talk about what System of a Down did and talked about political undertones. System of a Down has a lyric called "Lies from the Tablecloth." Take that any way you want, but that's the government. That's Big Brother, feeding us stuff, feeding us tablecloth, feeding us lies. And so is 21 going to move away from self-harm? Is always going to be a huge thing in life in general all the time. It's just going to be a thing. But are they going to keep doing it, or are they going to feel like they've worn out that? They don't feel the desire to make music around it. Now maybe they'll just go and do talk shows or something like that, or talking seminars or whatever about those kind of difficulties, and then do other types of music. So that's kind of something interesting to think about. Where are they going to be in the future? And are they going to get into more immediate things, terrorism or something like that, or just mass death across the planet? Because there's a lot of people that just talk about that stuff in general. They don't just sit in their neighborhoods or their cities or the state or their country. There's people that think around the world. The people that specifically that are famous are able to tour everywhere and see the world and the difference in the highs and the lows. They're playing in a country that's not so first world, let's say. And so it's always really... I would like to see, even if 21 doesn't stay together... I'd love to see if Tyler was considered to be just I don't want him to go the way of Green Day, and I would like to see if Josh is considered to be like Steve Grohl's, an incredible drummer, an incredible talent. You may not like his band, but he was the original drummer for it was Nirvana, right? Yeah, he was the original drummer for Nirvana, and he was a really freaking good drummer, but he's also a good singer. And it'd be nice. His star is kind of leveling out right now. Grohl's, he's having dinner with super famous people, but his band's not on the top right now. And it'd be really cool if Josh was just considered to be just a great musician. When I'm older, I hope his name is still there. Because there's a lot of things like oh God, what was the band? A Static Lullaby, I think is who I was looking at. There's a Static Lullaby, which they're the ones that did the cover of Toxic by Britney Spears. And when the Punk Goes 90s, I believe, was the album with everybody, which had Falling in Reverse, do the Gangster's Paradise and all that stuff, because there was a lot of bands that kind of were falling off that needed a resurgence. And one member plays drums for Hollywood Undead, and the other one does stuff from some other no-name bands. And it's man, that's kind of Hollywood Undead is a huge band. They're a huge group. But you don't know that guy's in there. You only see the guys with the masks. And I hope that he doesn't I hope Josh doesn't go that way and becomes more of a background, just making money, just trying to provide. I hope that he becomes a name. And I think because of his quiet nature, he won't be the celebrity, but I hope that he's a part of something and his musical talent shines really bright. I'm sure, and I don't know if I said Tyler, I think I meant Josh, but and I hope Tyler, I think he'll always be fine. I think he's the singer. I think that if he wanted to be a solo act, he could. I mean, if it didn't work out, or if they just got, said enough is enough. Look at the White Stripes. They just stopped for the most part. And then he went on to do his own thing by himself, which could definitely be a thing. Not like they break up or they hate each other or anything like that, but they would just say, we did all we needed to do. We had a message. That's what we formed this group for, which for 21 Pilot fans, that should be a thing. You should be scared if they form the group just to get their message out. Now, we've seen interviews where they like writing music, they like doing this stuff, so I think we're okay. But it's always really scary when a group has a message, because sometimes the group was formed to promote that message, to make people aware, and when they're done, they either pack it up and try something, they just stop playing music, or they become a background, in a huge group already, or they split off to go do their own things, or they try something new and it flops. A new message or something else. And I think that they're both talented enough that they could change it up and do something that doesn't have much of a message behind it. Or, what the fuck was that? Gee, that was a loud-ass noise. Or something else in general, and they'd be fine. Also, I think it'd be really awesome that if they did take a hiatus to try other projects and then came back for one of those reunion kind of things, but stayed together, people would lose their fucking minds, man. And I said we wouldn't go into a 21 or 20-minute video, and we're technically, I'm not lying, it's 16 minutes. I didn't know I was talking so long. But these are just a lot of facts. I've been alive for a good chunk of time now, and I've seen plenty of bands, and I've researched a lot of bands. I like this one song that, I grew up listening to with my dad. My dad, showing me all the classics. That were just normal music for him, but for us younger people, the classics. And I'm like, what happened to Sid Vicious? And holy shit, he was accused of murdering his girlfriend, then he killed himself. It's like, Jesus. Was it Sid Vicious? Was that the British guy? Yeah, I think so. And like, Blind Melon, and that guy's demise. And there's a group. I think it's I can't actually think of the name. Bear with me, the video is going to be a little longer. I have to actually find this because this video made me look at a lot of stuff musically. So if you are into music and stuff like that, just why is it so hard to find when I'm in a panic? Where's the rock section? Rock? Oh no, it's just going to be a big crap fest of stuff to find. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. It's called, what the hell is the song called? It's a song about, and the music video is the guy walking through a graveyard. And I can't remember. I'm trying to find the thumbnail for it. And what it was is he was walking through this graveyard, and it was like the rock and roll graveyard. And it had all of these huge talents from the past that have died. And it had them in here on the gravestones, and I'm like, dude, this is a crazy video, and it made me think a lot, and it made me go and look up some of the people that I recognized the names but never really knew who they were or knew what their music came from. And I was like, okay, and I went and I looked up all these people, and a lot of them just were they're just gone now. There's a dog barking somewhere. And they were just gone, and it's like really, it's kind of like, oh god, it's depressing to think about. But Five Finger Death Punch, I Apologize. That's the song, I Apologize. So yeah, okay, I'm glad I had to go into the mix and find it in my mix list. So yeah, that song, if you're into just music and seeing the past of music, which is some things that give me insight for now, for making these reactions. I looked at all these things, saw the bands, if you know anything about the Beatles, it makes you think they just, it's just crazy, to think what may happen to a smaller band. And hopefully they don't stay a small band. Hopefully they stay really big and all that good stuff, and keep on keeping on, right? But I'm going to end this video before we hit 20 minutes, so I'm not completely a liar. I didn't think I was going to talk for that long, but if you stayed to the very end of this, I appreciate that. It's really awesome. I get a lot of people saying, hey, I like some of the longer reactions you do. I like when you get your thoughts out there and all that good stuff. And yeah, that's really cool. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you on whatever video I'm doing next later. Actually, we're going to go on to 21 minutes. I'm just going to say right now, God damn it. I don't want to go to 20 minutes, but I can't wrap it up that quick. We are going to be doing DC Legends, Supergirl, Flash, Marvel's Iron Fist, the Netflix series, Arrow, Injustice 2, Mass Effect, Andromeda with the very, very attractive, I forgot her name, but it's a girl from Game of Thrones, the last queen that died. What's her face? She's in it. Aliens Covenant, the prologue, Fast and Furious, or Fate of the Furious 8. We're going to be doing all those reactions this week coming up. So if you want to check any of that awesome stuff out, video games, movies, TV shows, it's all coming out this week. So that's all the stuff that's coming up here. And if you want to check any of it out, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching again. Thanks for hanging out one more time. My name is Azrael, and I'll see you on any of those videos I'm doing next. Later.